Good morning. It's June 22nd, and this is your daily brief in science. Here's everything you need to know. A new large study links open educational resources to more than just cost savings, showing improved student success across institutions. The AAC&U analysis examined nearly 700,000 student records from 15 institutions and included input from over 200 instructors, making it the largest study of its kind to date. The researchers emphasized that institutional nuance matters. The impact of OER varies by institution type and student subgroups, so one-size-fits-all conclusions are unlikely. The findings are strongest for Pell-eligible, first-generation, part-time, and historically underserved students, suggesting OER can offset several compounding disadvantages. Overall, AAC&U frames OER as a high-impact institutional practice with benefits for learning, retention, time to degree, and equity. In community colleges, doctoral institutions, and tribal colleges, OER implementation is linked to reduced withdrawal rates, while in HBCUS and some private and public four-year systems, the impact on withdrawals is net neutral. The cognitive impact of OER versus traditional pages remains unsettled, but the study highlights deep reading and strong learning strategies regardless of format. For longer-duration students facing financial and other barriers, taking at least one OER course correlated with finishing about half a year sooner for those enrolled for more than 4 years, and up to nearly a full year sooner for 6 or more OER courses. Across contexts, the share of students earning A grades increased with OER adoption. Beyond cost savings, the study emphasizes how OER helps address broader challenges like learning outcomes, student debt, and access. A tiny genetic switch explains why most people with blue eyes share a single origin. Researchers identify a small change in the HERC2 gene that controls the neighboring OCA2 gene, reducing iris pigment and producing blue eyes. This switch acts as the primary on-off mechanism for the common blue eye trait, but other pathways can still yield pale eyes, indicating additional factors at work. The mutation likely arose in Neolithic Europe or the Near East, though the exact timing remains uncertain. From this ancient mutation, hundreds of millions of blue-eyed individuals trace their lineage to a single origin encoded in DNA. DNA evidence shows blue-eyed populations from diverse regions carry the same genetic signature around the switch, suggesting a shared founder. Estimates rely on genetic inference rather than birth records, and ordinary blue eyes are the most common inherited form, not all light eye conditions. The story centers on a single genetic event that reshaped eye color across populations over thousands of years. The finding underscores how a small genomic change can have a wide, enduring impact on a trait seen in many people today. A new $12 million NIH grant is backing the creation of the Pacific Center for Artificial Intelligence and Data Science in Medicine, PACAID, at the University of Hawaii Cancer Center and the John A. Burns School of Medicine. The center will be led by Dr. John Shepard and Dr. Yuping Deng, with governance aligned to UH Cancer Center and JABSOM. PACAID plans to renovate the UH Cancer Center data center and establish a medical AI core to provide researchers with advanced computing resources and AI expertise. Initial work focuses on 4 major research projects and a pilot program for additional studies addressing health challenges affecting Hawaii and Pacific Island communities. The project emphasizes local governance, hiring, and continued federal support to move from hardware to AI models and clinical pilots, prioritizing tools that reflect local populations rather than relying on mainland datasets. Leadership aims to create about 26 local jobs and could unlock $50 million to $100 million in downstream research funding for Hawaii. Officials expect the initiative to strengthen Hawaii's biomedical research capacity and attract further federal funding in the coming years. Support from UH leadership and U.S. Senator Brian Schatz underscores the program's potential for economic and health impact in Hawaii WUMS and beyond. The initiative aims to develop 6 to 8 early-stage faculty members, and by year 3, potentially secure independent NIH R01 funding, with awards around $3.25 million and additional federal funding totaling over $31 million for Hawaii-wise research and healthcare workforce. Initial funded projects include AI-driven work on full-body imaging for skin lesion triage, pancreatic cancer in native Hawaiian and Japanese populations, environmental toxicants and fetal development, and genetic traits in congenital heart disease. The initiative seeks to tailor AI datasets and computing power to Hawaii's diverse communities to improve diagnoses and treatments. PAC-AID will accelerate collaborative projects, training, and model development while minimizing the need to move identifiable patient data off-island. The STAR trial is reshaping how we treat people with both psychosis and PTSD by testing trauma-focused therapy added to cognitive behavioral therapy for psychosis over 9 months. This large, multi-site study found that integrating trauma work safely reduced PTSD symptoms without worsening psychosis, challenging a long-held belief. Engagement was strong, with only a 6.5% dropout among a heavily traumatized group. Across 22 of 27 secondary outcomes, participants showed broad improvements: less depression and anxiety, reduced suicidal ideation, diminished paranoia, fewer multisensory hallucinations, and better overall psychological recovery. The intervention was scaled through the Pi Cup Clinic at SLAM, incorporating lived experience input to train clinicians and tackle internalized stigma, with peer support showing positive personal transformation. Remission rates favored the therapy group, with 62 of 125 achieving PTSD remission versus 25 of 116 in control, and CAPS-5 clinically meaningful change favoring trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy for psychosis, or trauma-focused CBTP, with 56 of 125 versus 31 of 116. The study enrolled 305 adults across 5 UK sites from 2020 to 2023, randomizing 154 to trauma-focused CBTP and 151 to treatment as usual. 144 in the therapy arm engaged with treatment, and 146 received a minimal therapeutic dose. No serious adverse events were linked to the trial, and the therapy did not worsen psychosis, remaining safe and well tolerated. About half of participants receiving trauma-focused CBTP no longer met PTSD criteria after 9 months, compared with just over 20% in usual care, with similar remission patterns for complex PTSD. Funded by NIHR Health Technology Assessment and published in Lancet Psychiatry, the STAR trial supports making trauma-focused CBTP a standard option to address an unmet need in mental health services. A real-time look at the immune system's front line shows macrophages actively attacking live melanoma cells, a finding that could broaden immunotherapy beyond T cells. Intravital 2-photon microscopy in mice captured macrophages engulfing live melanoma cells as they happened, and human tissue from Melanoma Institute Australia showed the same macrophage subset near tumor edges. This is the first time researchers have observed macrophages directly eliminating live melanoma cells, revealing an anti-tumor role for these immune cells. A Garvan Institute team independently recorded the same phenomenon, confirming the real-time macrophage attack on melanoma. The study, published in the Journal of Experimental Medicine on May 21, 2026, was funded by NHMRC, the Australian Cancer Research Foundation, and Melanoma Institute Australia, DOI 1084439. Researchers propose combining macrophage-targeted approaches with existing therapies to broaden effectiveness across melanoma and potentially other solid tumors. Findings point to strategies that boost CD169 positive macrophages or enhance their ability to tag cancer cells for immune attack, potentially expanding immunotherapy beyond T-cell-dependent approaches. The study suggests macrophages can operate independently of T and B cells and may serve as immune informants by presenting cancer cell fragments to alert other immune players. CD169 positive macrophages, a skin macrophage subset, appear to suppress melanoma growth, with experiments showing larger tumors when these cells are removed. The same macrophages surround melanomas and help constrain progression by consuming live cancer cells, underscoring their role in inhibiting melanoma growth. Removing CD169 positive macrophages led to larger tumors, highlighting their contribution to anti-tumor activity. This has been your daily brief in science. To read more about these stories, follow the links in the episode bio. You can also subscribe to these updates via email at www.brief.news. For more daily podcasts about the topics you love, visit brief.news/podcasts. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with everything you need to know.